Hey guys, so like I said on the last video, today's video is going to be a cooking video. So it's a sushi day! Yay! Matt's really excited. He loves sushi, especially our sushi. So I'm going to first go through all the ingredients, show you how I prep some of them because there's special ways to prep some. Then I'll show you how I put everything together and roll it all up. So stay tuned. How beautiful is all of this? This is masago, or fish roe, fish cakes, eggs, Louisiana shrimp, because there's nothing better, peeled Louisiana crawfish tails. So we kind of do our rolls as a bit of a fusion between Louisiana flavors and Japanese flavors. We use 2 cucumbers, 1 bunch of asparagus. I'll start with 5 avocados. I'll probably use up to 10. And of course, kikkoman, soy sauce, Japanese mayo, sriracha mayo. This is Japanese 7 spice, shichimi togarashi, garlic, Tony Chachere's, of course that's that Louisiana flavor, Mommy. Salt, regular black pepper. These are the nori sheets that we'll use. This one only has 10 sheets. We're probably going to make about 20 rolls with all of these ingredients. I typically make 18 to 20 rolls in one sitting. Some sesame oil, rice vinegar, sugar. You'll see what I use that for. Yes, it's in my Starbucks coffee container. The rice that I use is just a medium grain rice from Walmart. It works just as well as sushi rice, I have found. I have a bamboo rolling mat. This one broke, I'm so sad. This one has lasted me over 20 years. This is a sushi mat that I got from Little Tokyo in LA. But that one finally broke, so I got a new one. They're definitely smaller and more cheaply made nowadays. But I got that. I think they sell them even at Walmart, but I got this one from an Asian market.
Hey, Mom.
I have my rice cooker, which is all bent up because the kids like to kick it when it's in the cabinet. And I think that is it.
Mom.
Carmelo.
Mom. Mommy.
Don't break the eggs yet.
Hey, Mom.
So that's all the ingredients that I use. I'll sometimes have some raw tuna that I'll put in it too, but we don't have any today. But everything that I have seafood wise, I will cook today. So there won't be anything raw.
No raw tuna, cause
yeah, money. These ingredients were expensive enough. So when it's all said and done, yes, the ingredients are very expensive, but making, like I said earlier, 18 to 20 rolls with all of this
beats going to a restaurant.
is a lot cheaper per roll when you make it at home. Let's get cooking. So the first thing I start with is the rice, because it takes at least an hour for it to cook, and then I have to let it cool off a little bit before I can roll it. So that's what we're gonna do. My rice cooker is a 10 cup, but with rice it expands, so I can only do 5 cups at a time. As soon as this is done, I'll probably have to make another batch of rice. So I think we use about 8 to 10 cups. And the key to making good rice in a rice cooker, I found over the years, was to add 1 more cup of water to rice. So we did 5 cups of rice, we'll do 6 cups of water. The next thing that I do to make the whole process a lot more efficient is to cook all of the hot ingredients next, so that they can be cooling in the fridge while I'm prepping all of the cold ingredients. So like the shrimp, crawfish, eggs, asparagus are all going to be hot ingredients at first. So I'll have to do all those first. You know what you're paying for at sushi restaurants? That roll that's so expensive? It's the prep work. There's a lot of prep work that goes into sushi if people are doing it right. So, I'm not really good at filming yet, and this isn't going to be very cinematic, and I have a very small kitchen. So, I don't know what kind of angles to do this at, but whatever, as long as you guys get the big picture of how to make the sushi. So while the asparagus is cooking, I'm going to prep the eggs, and then I'll probably prep some of the seafood. Let's do that. I'm going to make a sweet egg omelet with the eggs. So I don't want to cook too many at a time. I want it to be a thin omelet, and so I'll do 2 omelets with 3 eggs each. And in that, I'll show you what else I put. So I don't really measure a lot of things. Just a tiny bit of salt, about half a teaspoon of water, and then just a spoonful of sugar. So I'll set the eggs aside for now, at least the first batch of eggs, and I'll get started on the shrimp because those are still frozen, but they thaw very quickly. So do the crawfish. So I keep those frozen until I'm ready to use them. We'll just run them under water as I clean them and prep them to cook. Oh, I didn't realize when I bought the shrimp, but they are already shelled. I usually buy one still with the shell and the tail on, so there's a lot more prep work, but these are, that's already done for me. Yay! So I'm just going through it, thawing it under cold running water and taking off any little shells that were still left behind. A lot less prep work for me. That's a good thing. Okay, so the asparagus is done, and I put it on a couple of paper towels so that all the excess moisture comes off of those. Nothing worse than soggy ingredients in sushi. While that was cooking, I got the crawfish and the shrimp prepped. All I did was run it under cold running water and squeeze out all the excess moisture. So I'm going to set those aside for a couple of minutes while I make the sweet egg omelet. So I still have the 3 eggs there, but I have these prepped and ready to cook.
Hold on.
Okay, so the important thing about making the egg omelet is just as it cooks on a low to medium heat, you just bring in the sides and keep tilting the pan. And you just keep doing that until it's pretty firm, and then we'll flip it. Hopefully it works. Oh, the first one didn't turn out quite right. We don't have the best pan, so sometimes the egg omelet doesn't turn out looking too good. So let's try this again. So the second one turned out better, thankfully. I don't know. Maybe it's just because this is the first time we're using our fresh backyard eggs to cook the egg omelet, but yeah. Or just my pan is acting weird today. Oh well, still edible. Okay, I had to take a little break to wash the dishes. I can't be the only one who still hand washes all my dishes, can I? Yeah, I have to keep up with that. 2 sinkfuls of dishes already, and not even half of the ingredients are done yet. Okay, so the asparagus is done. The eggs turned out
What are you doing,
okay.
Daddy?
So we just slice these up in strips, about 1/2 inch in width. Take all of this, and we're going to throw all of this into the fridge so that it gets cold for us. So when it comes time to roll, all the ingredients are at about the same temperature. So now it's time to finally cook the shrimp and the crawfish. I'll cook them separately. We use about the same ingredients, but we're not gonna mix them. So a little bit of butter. Do the crawfish first. Now we do like to make These ingredients, spicy. My husband loves spicy crawfish and spicy shrimp. So, but for the crawfish, I add just a couple of drops of sesame oil. It gives it just a really different flavor that people can't quite pinpoint, and I love that. A little Tony's, garlic, seven spice, and pepper, and a little bit of shoyu or soy sauce. Not too much, because as this burns off, it'll get very salty. So you don't want too much of that. All right. So the crawfish is pretty much done cooking. This is where the sriracha mayo comes in. Add some of that and some regular sriracha.
Because one form of sriracha is just not enough.
Make it really spicy. Mix that up. The goal when I make sushi is that people really don't have to have all those special sauces dripped on top. A little bit of soy sauce maybe, and or wasabi if you want it, but you shouldn't have to add too much to good sushi. The flavor in the sushi itself should be enough. So I think all of the extra sauces on top and all kinds of other things that they put on top of sushi rolls anymore at restaurants is kind of a gimmick. Now on to the shrimp. So I'll cook up the shrimp the same way that I did the crawfish, except I do not add the sesame oil to this. If I were doing tuna, I do put the sesame oil in the tuna. That's a must for me. Apparently making sushi is very hard work, huh, Eva? She just blacked out on the couch. Oh, one less child to bug me while I'm trying to cook the rest of these ingredients.
It's probably.
What are you doing?
Well, you walked away, so I walked in, and I was just going to stir this for you.
Some people like help in the kitchen. I don't like people touching my stuff.
Well, I can't help it. I'm Italian. It's what we do.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I can't. Yeah. Not the only one who finds this annoying, huh? I'm cooking something, I don't want my stuff touched. And he has to come mess with it all.
I've seen it all my life. It's a thing.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll go now. Bye.
We have for making Japanese foods on. Whoever did watch it all.
Making Japanese foods, lots and all. That's what I got.
Look at this.
At least somebody got something.
What's that?
Shrimp.
Shrimp? Oh, it's
Ebi.
Ebi. Shrimp. Why you break it pieces?
Because we don't want big pieces of shrimp. We want little pieces of shrimp.
That makes Japanese food for bad. Japanese man.
So if it's whole shrimp, I'll kind of cut it up while it's in the pan. I don't like the shrimp to be whole. We like it little pieces, so it's about the same size as the crawfish.
Let me cut
when we
it.
put it in the roll.
Let me cut it.
You gonna be easy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that.
Let me turn.
So these are medium shrimp. I'll cut each one into 3 or 4
Let
pieces.
me turn.
You want to turn?
Yeah.
Can you get it? Good job, bub.
So usually just no one you can see it like this thing, like or no one you have to you just can see like.
Good
or
job.
This thing was always your shrimp. You like always a
Are
shrimp.
you going to eat the shrimp?
No, I I don't like that.
You know.
At least he's honest.
Darn. He used to, before he was 2 years old, whenever I was making sushi, he would take the whole roll before I could cut it, and he just chomp and eat the entire thing. But then he started getting food aversions and stopped eating a lot of things, including my sushi. More for you, at least.
Sneeze.
You're gonna sneeze? Don't sneeze on the
food.
food. Don't sneeze on the food. Don't sneeze on the food.
Food.
You're so funny. Alright, so the crawfish is done. The shrimp is done. Did the same thing. Sriracha mayo and some additional sriracha in those. So those will go into the refrigerator to cool down, and we're going to work on some of the cold ingredients, the avocado, cucumber, and snow crab. Not in that order. Next is the cucumber. So Matt would prefer it if I didn't add cucumber. He says it's just filler, but I like the crunch. So we always add cucumber. So peel it, cut off the ends, cut it in half. Cut each half down the center. Now slice this, and each of the slices we're going to slice into thin strips. So this is what it will look like going into the sushi. Some people don't use the seeds, but I leave all of that in. Just like that. So we'll do that to both of the cucumbers. And cucumbers are done. Into the refrigerator they go. And next we'll do snow crab.
Hi.
Yeah?
Hey, let me talk.
Huh.
Boopa, 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 boopa.
Okay, so.
Stop.
You want to watch Booba?
Yeah.
Let's go watch it.
Go watch Booba. Okay, so snow crab is where we're going to use the fish sticks or fish cake, the Japanese mayo, and masago. Yay! So much rice. Yum. Alright, so I got another 5 cups of rice going. I figured even if we have any leftover rice, we can feed that to the chickens, or I can make more curry rice for a hito later on. So, never have enough rice, right? Like I said, the next thing we need to do is make snow crab. Each one of these sticks is individually wrapped. So you take that off and set this aside. I have to do that for the entire container. Alright, now we have 30 sticks. We have to squeeze them out, not really hard, just enough because there is water in them. Moisture a little bit. These aren't too. So we'll squeeze all of that out. I cut them in half and then shred them. Hi. Yeah.
Hi, just ounce.
Yeah? Okay. Let's do this. So this is what it ends up looking like. It's not hard to shred. It just comes apart. I just like to cut the sticks in half so that the little pieces aren't that long. And next we need to add the mayo and masago. Okay, so this may gross some people out, but it is amazingly delicious.
Oh. What's this? What's this, Mom? What's this?
Japanese mayo?
Yeah, Japanese mayo.
Yeah, let's mix it up. So, if you see snow crab on the menu, it's not the healthiest ingredient.
Does it look tasty?
It is very tasty. And just when you think it was enough mayo, it wasn't.
That's not nice.
And then once all of that is mixed up, you get the roe. And a couple of good tablespoonfuls of that in there. Isn't it pretty?
The Grinch?
Oh my goodness. So delicious. Matt, come try the snow crab for me.
Oh, yes. With pleasure.
How is it? Hito, your turn.
Take a bite, yeah.
Try it!
Carmen, you want to try it? Carmen, come try it.
No. Alrighty, we're getting somewhere. Last ingredient to prep. Well, other than the sushi rice. Avocados, yay! So, how do you slice your avocados? This is the only way that I've ever learned to. Half it. Down the middle. Make it into 4 slices. If they're bigger, I'll do 6 slices per half, but, and then just put my finger in there and separate it from the skin, and out they come. I don't know how else anyone would slice their avocados. Getting this out is the hard part because, yeah. Matt doesn't like me using my teeth. Hi, Hito.
Mommy has a knife, baby. Be careful.
Yeah, don't be near me with a knife.
That's really smart.
So just go under, all the way around, and then it just comes out easily, right? So now let's do 5 of those. Okay, well, yeah, my kitchen's a mess, but whatever, it always is. We live here, right? Last thing I have to do before we can start assembling the rolls is mixing the rice vinegar and rice. So I have the big container of rice. I'm going to put some of it in a smaller container because the longer that the rice sits, the more that the vinegar is going to evaporate and the flavor will go away. So I do it in smaller batches at a time and I keep it covered. So it's still really hot and it's been close to an hour since I took it out of the rice cooker. So that'll be enough to get quite a few rolls done, maybe 5, 6. So one thing that I find in a lot of sushi restaurants, a lot of people who make their own sushi, is they're afraid to use the rice vinegar. They use it too sparingly. To make it have a lot of flavor, you have to make this rice in the bowl taste like there's too much vinegar. Once it tastes like there's too much, you have just the right amount. So I think that that's one thing that a lot of people, a lot of restaurants especially, don't get right. If the flavor of the rice isn't quite right, I don't like the sushi. So you don't want the rice to be dry, but you also don't want it to be wet. So it's a fine line between the two. So let's try that and see. A little bit more. And like I said before, because the rice is still warm, the vinegar will be evaporating from it and the flavor will go away if I don't get these rolls made quickly. So as you're rolling too, if the rice starts to look dry, add a little more vinegar. And that's perfect. Here is the setup. Yay! So we have the crawfish, shrimp, avocado, snow crab, cucumber, asparagus, and sweet egg omelet, and rice. And then this is the rolling mat. So there's a flat side. That's the side that you want up. I usually put it on a towel And the nori.
Hey.
So the nori is going to go shiny side on the mat with the vertical lines going the same way as the mat is going. So you're going to sit at this angle, and this is how we will roll.
So
Let's get started. So let's roll some sushi.
Yeah.
I'll show you how I roll my sushi. Eva woke up in a very bad mood. So if you hear crying, that's her right now.
Get the nori.
Shiny side down.
Shine side down. Hey, Mom.
We're going to put rice on it, a couple of scoopfuls, and then we'll start spreading it out. I get it close to the edge all around, except for the edge that is furthest from me. There you want about a ½ an inch of room without rice on it. Hello, Bendy. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. So, how will you be?
I don't know. How do I be?
Yeah, I will you like easier too.
You sure?
Uh-huh. You could be. I know so I am. So we could make a sushi.
We are making the sushi.
You maybe hope so?
I maybe hope so, yes. I hope that I can make all these rolls because it's dinner time and everyone's starting to get cranky. Yay.
Oh yeah, that was perfect. You are thinking this?
Am I
Where's
thinking?
Boris?
Where's Boris? Who's Boris?
He's on to my home.
Yeah?
He's like, he was behind the work. Boris is out of work.
Out of work? Okay. So, doesn't have to look perfect. It's just an even layer, a thin, kind of even layer all around. So what we do is we take our thumbs at the part that is furthest from you and squish it into it. So just all along the edge, squish the rice into the nori. This is glue that will hold the roll together. That's one trick that I don't know if a lot of people know because the rolls just fall apart when they make them, and I hear that's a common complaint from people. So that's one way to keep it from doing that. Another thing is if your rice is too wet, it will definitely not hold the roll together. Okay, so I like to start with those things that are long and flat. So I'll take one piece of egg, put that down. And then I take 2 pieces of asparagus. I put the heads of the asparagus sticking out of either end. So in opposite directions. Then I'll do about 4 pieces of cucumber right on top of the asparagus. Then I will take snow crab, just get a big pinch, and spread that along on top of the egg, covering the egg and cucumber and everything else. And I'll take the avocado.
Oh, that's such a fly.
3 to 4 pieces. I kind of thick cut it, so I'll only do 3 pieces on these. So the hump side up is how I like to do it. And then I take anything that's little and I use the snow crab to keep it in place. So I kind of just push it into the snow crab so that it won't roll all over the place. I got the shrimp and
A shrimp.
the shrimp
Yeah.
and the crawfish on there. Okay, now your hands are all dirty and it's ready to roll. So you pick up the mat and you hold everything in with your other fingers. You push forward and down at the same time, and then you keep doing that motion. Forward, down, forward, down,
Mom.
forward, down. And you keep squeezing it together. Oh yeah, it's shaking it.
Mom, Bendy's watching you. Bendy's watching you.
And then you pull it once you get it all rolled together.
Oops. There's a water train.
Voila. Now it's time to cut.
I'm not singing in good good.
Okay, so to cut it, get a sharp knife. I usually do this on a cutting board, but we don't really have another cutting board, so
Chocolate bar.
cut it in half. Then cut each of those in half. If you need to, while you're cutting, wipe off the blade. That helps it cut nicely. And then cut each of those in half as well. And we are done. And that is how I make my sushi. First bite, Daddy. Tell me how I did this time around. Good? Yay! Now I just have to make about 19 more of those. Let's do this. Yummy sushi. Yay, at least one of my kids still like it. All right, so I figured a little closer up view of me rolling the sushi might help. So, the nori on here, shiny side down, vertical lines, a couple scoops of rice, spread that around, and leave room at the top. And push the rice into the nori at the top. And we'll start putting on all the ingredients. 1 strip of egg, just about 1 inch in from the edge. 2 pieces of asparagus, hanging out the ends. 4 thin slices of cucumber, so 2 and 2 together like that. Then snow crab, get a big pinch of it and just put it across everything that you have on there so far. 3 slices of avocado across like that. And a shrimp and crawfish just on top of all of that. And kind of push that into the snow crab so that it sticks. So any ingredients that are cut into little pieces, you want something to be able to keep it in there. Once that's all on there, make sure it's lined up nicely on the mat. Grab it and fold over and pin and push, roll, push, roll, push, roll, push as you go along. And then you can backtrack and then pull the end, push anything back in, especially the avocado will come out of the side a lot. And there you go. It's all together and you can see the seam right there. How it's all stuck together because of that rice that you pushed down. And then we cut. Ta-da! Isn't that a beautiful food pyramid? So I finished all 20 rolls. Yay! We only had a little container of leftovers from all of the filling ingredients. We have a lot of rice, but like I said earlier, that can go to the chickens and I'll use it to make Hino's curry later. But yeah, so we're just at 4 hours. It took 4 hours and I still have to cut all this. I just started to. I hope you guys enjoyed watching how I make my sushi rolls. This, by the way, is called the Mackie roll because, well, you know, my name's Jackie and my husband's name is Matt, and so we put those together because this is a combination of Cajun and Japanese, so, and that's what we are. Because my husband's from Louisiana and I'm half Japanese, so there you go. It's our favorite roll to make. Let us know down in the comments below, what are your favorite rolls? Do you like sushi even? I won't take offense if you don't, because a lot of people don't. A lot of people also think that most sushi is just raw fish, which it isn't. It doesn't have to be, at least. I've also went years of being vegan and vegetarian, and so most of my rolls used to be only vegetables, so you don't even have to add all of the seafood if you don't want to, but it is delicious. And of course, the green tea to go with the sushi. Because what else are you gonna drink?
I'm just holding it up for the advertisers when they want to pick me up.
Yeah. Funny.
Like, subscribe to your channel. Bye.
You're nuts. I have to say, the worst part about sushi is the cleanup. Oh my gosh. I did the dishes twice. And I still have 2 sinkfuls of dishes. And then this thing. You ever try to clean one of these? Yeah. It's fun.